The plant-based food market is expected to grow drastically over the next 5 to 10 years. In this video, I have a company that is poised to take advantage of that growth and acceleration away from meat and into the plant-based food sector. The name of that company is the Tattooed Chef. Hey guys, Daniel here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be looking at and analyzing the Tattooed Chef, which is a company that competes in the plant-based food sector. In this video, I'm going to go through Tattooed Chef's business model, financials, revenue growth, and make sure to stick around till the end of the video where I give my short-term and long-term price targets for the stock. Before we get into anything though, if you are new here, first of all, welcome to the community. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to see more videos just like this one, and also hit that like button as it really helps the channel out. So the Tattooed Chef currently trades under ticker symbol TTCF at around $24.50 per share. The market cap is $1.75 billion. So the Tattooed Chef creates, manufactures frozen plant-based foods. All of their products fall into the category of frozen and vegan and vegetarian. All of these products are very quick to make, which is great because their target audience right now is mainly Generation Z and millennial consumers, which really favor quick to make plant-based foods. So that's really what that's rather what the Tattooed Chef does and falls into that category. I also really like the way that the Tattooed Chef presents their products. They really stand out from a lot of different products, and that's one of the big things that you got to do as a food competitor. There's a lot of competition in the food industry, and being able to differentiate yourself with with rather interesting packaging and packaging that stands out is really great in attracting different new customers. Here is kind of a list of the different products that the Tattooed Chef has, and you can see how it's been growing over the years. This is a very innovative company with innovation at its core. That's what I like to see in a growth company, and this really kind of shows and validates that innovation. They started with 2 products in 2017 to over 38 in 2020. Next year, they're expected to have 62 different products. And in my opinion, this is going to continue to grow as the company expands in different products and different food industries. Right now, again, they're only frozen foods, but management team has expressed a desire to expand into different sectors outside of the frozen food aisle. Now here are 3 of the Tattooed Chef's biggest clients: Costco, Walmart, and Sam's Club. And I can't stress this enough. Being with these giant retailers really validates Tattooed Chef's products. If you're with Costco, that says it all. Costco rather isn't going to have your product in stock if they're not selling. And being with Costco, Walmart, Sam's Club really validates their product, the quality of their product, and the popularity of their product within the stores. And again, they aren't limited to Costco, Walmart, and Sam's Club. They're with hundreds of different smaller retailers. Here's an example of 60, or rather the retailers that they added within the last 60 days. And there are some big names here. I'm just going to name a few, but 7-Eleven, Whole Foods, that's a big one. This is the perfect product for Whole Foods in my opinion. Kroger, Target, and a variety of others. These are huge stores, and again, they're just starting to expand into, for example, Whole Foods and Target. But they're just testing the products in those stores at this moment. In my opinion, once they go national with Target and Whole Foods, that's going to be huge for the Tattooed Chef, growth-wise and brand awareness-wise. Here we have an idea of the total stores that the Tattooed Chef is in and the total points of distribution that the Tattooed Chef is in. At this moment, the Tattooed Chef is in 2,700 Walmart stores, 600 Sam's Club stores, 550 Costco stores, and over 400 Target stores. I think Target is going to be a big area of growth for the Tattooed Chef going forwards. They just entered those Target stores, and if everything goes well, which it is right now from what I've heard, the sales in Target are doing very, very well. So if that continues, the Tattooed Chef is going to expand to all the multi-thousand Target locations, which is going to be great for both, again, brand awareness and revenue growth-wise. Total points of distribution at this moment are around 23,000. And if we look at the 2021 objective, they're expecting around 10,000 stores and 65,000 points of distribution. That's over a 2x in total stores and almost a 3x in total points of distributions added, which is just great. This is one of the things that I really like about the Tattooed Chef, the fact that they're vertically integrated. They take care of the entire process from the moment they have that idea of a new product to cultivating the plants that go into that product, to growing the plants, and manufacturing the actual product. Now this is great because it really allows them to expedite the release of future products. Vertical integration, control of ingredients, and prioritization of product. They know exactly what's going into their product. Proactive, ability to go from innovation to market in as little as 3 months. From the moment they have an idea, it takes them 3 months to get that idea onto shelves of stores, which is very, very quick. Experience, manufacturing, distribution, and supply chain. And we're going to go into this in a second here, but the Tattooed Chef used to be a vegetable distribution company where they'd sell, for example, vegetables to Costco or Sam's Club or Walmart. This is great because it allows them to have a lot of connections with these big retailers and is big for the brand at this moment. The Tattooed Chef, again, we'll go into the history in a second here, but the Tattooed Chef became the Tattooed Chef in 2017. It was under a different brand for the past 20 plus years. Capacity available to meet significant growth opportunities. Because they're vertically integrated, they're able to really control their manufacturing and expand as demand grows. So here we've got the TAM for the Tattooed Chef, the total addressable market. The total frozen retail sales in the United States this year, or in 2019 rather, was $55.2 billion. In terms of the Tattooed Chef's current opportunity, it's around $34 billion in annualized revenue. So even if they get, like 2 or 3% of that, that's big. That's like almost $1 billion in annualized revenue. In terms of the near-term opportunity for the Tattooed Chef, that's the frozen dessert space. So they'll be expanding into that this year and next year. That's one of their big goals. And then eventually, their goal is to expand internationally as well as out of the frozen food aisle. That's going to be one of the big points of growth for the Tattooed Chef, in my opinion. The growth in the frozen food category has been primarily driven by the recent product innovation as a response to the growing demand for great tasting, clean label, and convenient options. The overall frozen food category outpaced the general center of store food categories. Millennials and Generation Z are driving growth in the frozen food section due to convenience, frozen fresh, and plant-based foods. The number of consumers who say convenience had a significant impact on their food purchase decision has grown from 49% in 2017 to 57% in 2018. All the pieces of the puzzle are going in for the Tattooed Chef here. I really like the industry that they're in. Longer-term opportunity to penetrate the $380 billion global frozen food market. As they expand outside of the United States, into Canada, into North America, and into Europe. That's a big place for them right now. I know they're in certain parts of Italy, but they do have a facility in Italy. And as they expand into Europe, that's going to be a big thing for them as they expand throughout, because that's a big market. So here's the history of the Tattooed Chef. This has been a company that's been around for a while. And the CEO, Sam Galletti, which is an absolutely incredible CEO, I really like what he's doing with the company, has a lot of experience in the food industry. So as I mentioned previously, the Tattooed Chef used to be under a different name, Stonegate Foods. CEO Sam Galletti opens Stonegate Foods and begins importing vegetables and other Italian products to be sold to national natural channel retailer. So I believe part of that is also Whole Foods, which is great because the Tattooed Chef has that connection to Whole Foods, to Walmart, to Costco, which is just incredible. Stonegate begins selling private label products to leading natural channel retailer and national discount supermarket. Again, as I mentioned previously, that really doesn't matter right now. All that matters is that connection that they have with those giant retailers. Sarah Galletti in 2014 joins the company. Sarah Galletti is one of the people that took the Tattooed Chef from like a meh company to a company up here. Before the Tattooed Chef, or under the Itella brand, was here. Now it's here. That's what Sarah Galletti managed to do. So she changed the brand in 2017 to the Tattooed Chef, and ever since then, they've been experiencing exponential growth by releasing a number of new products and expanding into different stores. They recently went public as a company in late 2020, and now have over 38 branded SKUs in its product portfolio. So as we can see here, in 2017, revenue was $32.5 million. In 2019, revenue was $84.9 million. And in 2020, revenue was $150 million, experiencing exponential growth across all numbers. So the Tattooed Chef, up until this point in time, has not spent a dime on advertising. And they've experienced that huge amount of growth. In this year, they're going to start their advertising campaign with nitro marketing. And this is going to be huge for the Tattooed Chef and brand awareness as well. I mean, imagine the sales that the Tattooed Chef will be able to do now that they're starting a marketing campaign. Like, this is an incredible opportunity for the Tattooed Chef to get its name out, as well as sell a lot more products in Costco, Sam's Club, etc. An incredible opportunity here. And if this advertising campaign does very well, expect big things to happen to both Tattooed Chef as a company and to their stock price. In terms of the balance sheet, it's hard to find an exact balance sheet of recent because the Tattooed Chef just went public. So the amount of money raised in the merger isn't included on their latest balance sheet. But the Tattooed Chef has minimal debt. I think it's just like $1 million or $2 million bucks. And they just raised $200 million in capital from their merger. So they're in a great position right now. A lot of cash. I really think bankruptcy is out of the question for the Tattooed Chef here, with the money that they just raised and the fact that they're actually a profitable company. This is one of the big things about the Tattooed Chef. You have a lot of these growth companies that don't focus on profits and focus all of that money on growth and actually lose a lot of money along the way. Sam Galletti has said that he's focusing on profitable growth. So not only do we have that like 40, 50, 60% revenue growth on the top line, but you also have money hitting the bottom line, which is great. Really de-risks the company from a perspective of bankruptcy and makes it a lot more appealing to a lot of investors. In terms of revenue guidance for the Tattooed Chef, and in my opinion, this is actually very conservative. In 2021, they're expecting revenue to be $222 million and gross margin to be around 20 to 25%. In 2022, they're expecting $300 million in revenue and gross margin of 25 to 30%. In 2023, they're expecting revenue of $500 million and gross margin of around 30 to 35%. So again, you have that expanding revenue as well as that expansion in gross margin. In 2026, they're expecting $1 billion in revenue and gross margin of over 35%. In my opinion, they sandbagged this guidance. I really do. I really don't see such a slowdown in revenue growth from 2023 to 2026. In my opinion, the Tattooed Chef is going to be able to hit $1 billion in revenue by 2025, 1 year earlier than this expectation here. And that's kind of what I factored into my price targets that we're going to look at in a second here. And these numbers do not include any possible acquisitions that the Tattooed Chef will make going forwards. But honestly, I don't really think they need to make any acquisitions just based on the fact that they have such a great management team with creating great products, great branding. We'll see how this marketing campaign goes going forwards. So the Tattooed Chef, we're going to look at the valuation here now, is trading at around $1.75 billion. And if we look at these metrics, 5 years from now, they're expecting $1 billion in revenue. Trading at around $24.50 per share. We're going to compare this to Beyond Meat. Currently, the Tattooed Chef trades at a price to sales of 12.94, while Beyond Meat trades at a price to sales of 21.8. We can't really use forward price to earnings in both of these cases because a lot of these growth companies, Tattooed Chef and Beyond Meat, aren't really focusing on profitability or giant profitability. Sure, they're expected to be profitable next year, but not nearly where they can be if they cut down on a lot of their marketing and research and development costs. So we can't really look at forward PE, but even if we did, Tattooed Chef is significantly cheaper than Beyond Meat on a forward price to earnings basis. But with a price to sales basis, which is what you want to look at with a lot of growth companies, Tattooed Chef is significantly cheaper than Beyond Meat. So even if you just look at the valuation in terms of price to sales, Tattooed Chef is significantly undervalued compared to Beyond Meat. Then you also have the fact that the Tattooed Chef is growing at a significantly faster pace than Beyond Meat and is in a sector without a lot of competition. With Beyond Meat being only in the plant-based meat sector, there's a lot of competition. Tattooed Chef, no one's really competing in the plant-based frozen food category, which is great. Here, I was running through my numbers for price targets. And I had all my numbers written out, and then I came across this here by Aurelian Corp, which is an analyst firm. And I realized that my price targets were almost the exact same as this corporation here. So we're going to look at Aurelion's projections, which I completely agree with. In the short term, Q1 of 2021, so within the next 3 months, they're expecting around $35 per share, and this assumes that bullish technicals play out, and the undervaluation given high potential for year-over-year growth, marketing, and brand awareness. So this is just saying that Tattooed Chef is currently undervalued based on what they're doing. So assuming that they catch up to that valuation, it should be valued at around $35 per share. This is very short term. It could go to 35 bucks, but it could not. I mean, if we have a larger market correction, it might not go to $35, but then again, we're not traders here, we're long-term investors. We want to look at the long term. In terms of the medium term, they're expecting around $70 per share, which is a lot of upside. I somewhat disagree with this. I think this price target factors in a stable market in 2021. So if we have a stable market and no real major correction or crash happen this year, I think $70 is possible. And they assume this by assuming that the marketing and brand awareness succeeds and the closed gap for price to earnings ratio relative to peers like Beyond Meat. So this is really factoring in success in their marketing campaign as well as that catch up in valuation compared to Beyond Meat. So again, I think this could maybe be more like a 2022 type thing with that $70 price target. But again, I really want to look at 5 years when I'm investing in a company. If we can make good money 5 years from now, I don't really care what's going to happen here in the short term. Even in the next year or two, if I know I'm going to make money in the next 5 years, that's beneficial to me. So in the long term, by 2025, so 5 years away, they're expecting around $140 per share at a $10 billion market cap. And that assumes that they reach $1 billion in sales by 2025. So 1 year previous or 1 year earlier than their expectation. In my opinion, that's what I mentioned previously. I think the Tattooed Chef sandbagged their revenue guidance, and I think they're easily going to be able to hit that $1 billion by 2025 as they expand into different stores, into Target, and expand into a variety of different products. Right now, they're only 35 products. I think by then, they're going to easily have over 100. And this also assumes a 35 price to earnings ratio, which I think is fair given their growth and the fact that they're a food company. So, given this, if we look at the long term here, we can expect Tattooed Chef to trade around $140 5 years from now. So, in regards to the percentage gain here, this assumes a price of $25.40. It's $1 below that. So, assuming a share price of $140 per share in the long term, we can expect around a 570% gain on the upside, which is absolutely incredible. I really like Tattooed Chef as a play in the plant-based meat sector, and I actually have a position in the Tattooed Chef. I bought about a month or two ago at around 18 bucks. I know it's gone up a lot since, but honestly, given these numbers and the fact that they could trade much higher 5 years from now, I don't see this as a bad opportunity. It really depends on the gain you want. So if we know the Tattooed Chef is probably going to be trading around $140 per share 5 years from now, it really depends if you're fine with a 550% gain on your investment, which I personally am. I like the Tattooed Chef. I think it's a very stable company, very safe, with a lot of growth. You don't really find a lot of these now you can't really find a lot of companies that are trading at cheap valuations, growing quickly, profitable, and are in a market that is growing and disruptive. The plant-based food market is very disruptive. Nothing's happened to the meat industry in a while. The Tattooed Chef is changing that. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions on the Tattooed Chef, make sure to drop those in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.